Welcome to the first real episode of OK Sachie. Today we're doing shower thoughts. So recently I realized that my brain refuses to relax, and this is not a unique experience. I think a lot of people experience this. Like people would randomly think of something and then it just ruins your entire day. And I think shower thoughts are fascinating, or not even just shower thoughts, but maybe like sometimes even like banyo thoughts in general. Like for some reason, just gives your brain liberty to think about the most random things. They're not even deep necessarily. They're just technically true enough to psychologically disturb you for like a while. And again, I know this is not a unique experience. A lot of people experience this, hence the coin term shower thoughts, because nga, a lot of people experience it. And I ended up on Reddit, and apparently there's an actual subreddit called shower thoughts, and people just share their shower thoughts there. So that's what I'll be doing today. I will be sharing my own shower thoughts as well as other people's shower thoughts on Reddit, I guess. And I feel like Reddit is one of the best websites to do this on because everyone there thinks exactly like this. I don't know. So anyway, let's begin. I will start with one of my own shower thoughts, which is, what if we all see colors differently? I'm sure, again, I'm sure this is not a unique thought, but like, what if my blue is your red? But we would literally never know because we all learned the same labels growing up. Like imagine if this whole time your version of green is like my purple or something, because like there's literally no way to verify what another person is seeing internally, because like even if we take videos or whatever, it's all gonna be the same to us, at least. And not even just like colors. Another thought that I had was, what if parang like kunwari sa akin ang itsura ng alien ganun pala yung itsura ng human to you. Like I don't know, like I could just point at the person and go like, okay, that's a person, and then I would point at an alien and think, okay, that's an alien. But what if another person can see those and like see the exact opposite of what I'm seeing? So hindi ko alam. Again, there's no way to verify this because parang kahit i-visualize natin siya, it's gonna be the same. Especially for colors. Medyo complicated pa yung humans and aliens. Baka just for colors. I mean, I know there's like complementary colors or whatever, but what if like in your head nga, parang these two colors that I'm seeing are like also complementary dun sa equivalent ng color na yun dun sa head mo. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not talking about like color blindness, okay? I'm just talking about like literally magkaiba yung magkaiba yung color. I don't know. That's my first thought. I don't know if that made sense or not. Although I guess technically shower thoughts aren't supposed to make sense necessarily. So anyway, I'm gonna read shower thoughts on Reddit now. Okay, let's start. Napakaingay sa labas. Syempre, when I start recording, diba parang talagang lahat ng tao magde-decide sila. Parang, okay, dadaan ako dito. Anyway, okay, this first one I saw, the first quiet minute after guests leave is its own kind of event. This is true, and it's a very sad kind of event, usually, at least for me, like, especially if you had a good time at the event. Or if you're an introvert. Wait. Now I'm realizing maybe I'm an extrovert. Or, ewan ko, feeling ko I'm a true ambivert. But then, I feel like all people are ambiverts in a sense. Like feeling ko when people say they're ambiverts, they're kind of cheating kasi parang, or like, is anyone truly an introvert or truly an extrovert? I don't know. I feel like it really depends on the people you surround yourself with. I don't know, I'm sure may proper explanation for this, but like in my head, we all have moments where we don't want to be in a social situation anymore. But anyway, going back to the shower thought, because I'm seeing comments saying like, as introverts, yes, it's a feeling of sweet release, complete relief. So yeah, I guess that's an event in itself, but for me mostly, I host people in my house or kapag katapos ng isang party or dinner or whatever, and then it's time to go home and I'm just alone in my car. It is kind of an event in itself. Parang internally, I kind of, at least for me, like I kind of debrief myself over what happened, and you kind of reminisce what just happened. And parang I agree, it's an event of its own. Especially I guess pag sa bahay, like when you dress down na and then you kind of eat something. I don't know. I always like to involve food in events. Also, I have heard other people saying, especially true for like when you lose someone, like as in when someone dies. Typically, diba sa Philippines, there's a long like wake and you go through the burial or whatever. I have never experienced this, thankfully. Parang wala pa akong super like ka-close na nawala, except for dogs, which is obviously like really heartbreaking, but it's not the exact same as like losing a parent or a really close person, diba? And we don't usually like hold events for pets. But I have heard other people say na parang once you go home from all that event or all that chaos, that's when the grief really starts to hit. During that event where people are just crying over this one person, or you parang you retell the story of how you lost that person, parang it's almost cathartic because you get to talk to other people, you get to like hang out. It's almost again an event. But then when you're home, like that's where it hits the most. And I guess you can call that an event, like a very depressing event, but yes. I saw another comment saying when you have kids, you get to experience this every single night once they're in bed. And I don't have kids, but I can imagine na parang, yeah, I guess that's also an event in itself na parang you finally get time for yourself. So it feels like a different parang block to your day. I don't know. Okay, next. We have no way to know if different people feel the time passing at the same speed. I feel like this is kind of close to the color shower thought that I had earlier. Just because there's no way to prove this. Like how, I mean, first of all, how would you even explain? Like ako personally, like I can't explain how a second feels or a minute feels. Or maybe I'm just not articulate enough. But like it's just difficult to understand or explain your own experience of that very abstract feeling, let alone like trying to understand another person's perception of time passing. I don't know. Or is this just as simple as like, parang does it just depend on how fun the day was for you? Like for example, if someone says they had a long day, that just usually means like ang dami nangyari. Pero no way, kasi pag madami nangyari, parang like mabilis din yung day for you. So a long day is like either a really boring day or you're doing a lot of things that you don't enjoy doing. I don't know. Parang di ko alam. I will move on. Okay, next. You must choose whether or not you believe in free will, the ability to choose. I don't think, does anyone not believe in free will? This confuses me a little bit. Or does this connect with like religion and like laws and stuff? I mean, I guess in some cases you do have free will. But like in other cases you don't. I don't know. May isa na comment, you don't choose any of your beliefs. You simply believe in them. I think that's true. Again, belief is not a choice. You are either convinced that something is true or you aren't. That's true. I think it really depends on the topic. The topic, yeah, maybe I disagree with this one. I saw a comment saying you do not choose what you are convinced of. Agree. Parang it's not always a choice. Like some things are just not deliberately chosen. I don't know. I will move on again. Next one. Getting older is still preferable to not getting older. I think that is true. Like most people I know, at least or myself, would still want to have a future of some sort. Maybe. Okay. So my comment here. Only to a point. The moment that getting older means no longer being able to wipe my own ass, Mr. Reaper is more than welcome to punch my ticket. I think that's true. Again, I think it depends. Like ako, I recently had a slight panic because I realized I was turning 30 this year, which is honestly terrifying. But then again, I know that getting older isn't avoidable, you know, parang it's inevitable. So I would still much rather reach 30 than just stop at 29 because that's physically impossible. So I guess in some cases, for some people, like if you want to start a family or if you want to achieve something by this age, getting older kasi gives you that deadline. Some ages kasi are sort of synonymous to a deadline of sorts of what you want to achieve in life or what you want to become. So I guess, yeah, in some cases, you would prefer to like stay younger, but then again, that's not possible. So parang, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I agree na parang only to a point because I don't want to be like super, like I don't, like I do still want to get older. Some people are really proud that they're old and feel almost superior to younger people. And I respect that, but I agree na parang, yeah, only to a point. A lot of older people I know also, like, as in old, like mga 80 plus that I've talked to, like some of them are genuinely just content and parang don't wish to be like 150 years old because that usually means you're not capable of doing the things that you enjoy the most. So parang at that point you're just like, you're not even living anymore. So yeah, maybe that's my thought also. Okay, this has become kind of philosophical and I don't want to pretend like I understand any of these things. So I'm gonna go back and share one of my own again. Ang isa kong shower thought ay bakit ang ghosts, diba? Like whether you believe in them or not, the parang collective understanding is that ghosts go through walls, diba? But then also, kapag tinatakot ka ng ghosts or like if they're trying to communicate with you, most of the time, what they do is they knock over like a thing, diba? So parang, paano? Like, can they just choose to like not pass through things? Kasi kung sila ay like super 100% see-through, walk-through, charot. Like, ano tawag doon? Ano ba tawag doon? May tawag ba doon? Parang, hindi invisible, like, parang, like, intangible. If they are, in essence, intangible, they should not be able to touch things and effectively, like, knock things over. So, why are they able to knock things over? Or parang can they just, like, switch that on or off if it's like convenient for them, like if they want to pass through something, like they can do that, and if they want to scare people or communicate with people, then pwede silang may tangible. Pero parang in that case, like if I were a ghost and parang I want to hug someone I love or something, edi parang i-hug ko na lang. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko sure. Ayoko na pag-usapan ng ghost. Because like, mapatakot ako. Charot. Okay, anyway. If a person from 20 years ago heard an AI-generated audio clip, they would probably think it sounds uncanny, but wouldn't be able to figure out why. Honestly, I don't think that only applies to 20 years ago. I feel like that, like some of that statement applies to the present. Sometimes they don't even sound uncanny anymore, which is kind of scary. Especially with photos, it's getting increasingly good to the point that it's scary now. Pero gets ko naman, okay. So coming from this, I feel like they wouldn't think that much of it. Like, I feel like they would just assume na parang it's low quality or whatever. I don't know. Okay, next. A portion of dead people never knew what caused their death, and if brought back to life, they would be surprised to learn that they had died. Death is really a scary topic for me. Diba merong parang question na parang if you could find out why or when you would die, like would you want to find out? I would want to know neither, because number one, parang if I would know when, like I feel like somehow I would try to stop it, even if I know that's not technically possible. Like if it was set in stone, parang I would do everything in my power to try and stop it. I don't know. So parang I would just rather not know. But also like the cause of my death, like I don't want to know that. And I would gladly be surprised once I am brought back to life to know why I died. I saw a comment saying that's one of the worst things for me about the thought of dying. Not just the fact that you might not know what happens, but also the fact you'll never get to talk about it afterwards. That's so true. It's like the biggest thing that will ever happen to you, and you'll never get the chance to tell your friends and family about the experience. That is so true. Because this is honestly like one of life's biggest like milestones, I guess. And then you never get to debrief with your friends. Like, made a comment, OMG this, one of my best friends died suddenly while we were walking together and randomly got hit by a car. I just want to talk to her about it because it was so crazy, but I can't because like she died. That is insane. Oh my god, that's so true. Like, how would you even react to your own death? Like, you can't even react to your own death because you're like dead. Unless like heaven is real and you can kind of watch your own death if you would wish to, and parang pwede kayo mag-debrief doon with like other people who died and maybe like Pontius Pilate or something. I don't know. But then by that point, like, hindi pa naman kayo close ni Pontius Pilate. Like, bakit kayo magde-debrief about your own death? Like, you would want to talk about that with, like, a close friend or relative. So, that's just sad. Or if ever, baka pwede ako mag-podcast sa heaven. If I'm even going to heaven. I don't know. Sorry. Sorry for assuming I'm going to heaven. Okay, next. You always laugh at TV shows where someone who isn't human, magic creature, robot, alien, etc., impersonates a human and does a bad job. We wonder why people don't immediately see through the disguise, but then you remember all the weird people you went to school with. Interesting. Tama, because like, if you encounter a weird person, although obviously like weird is subjective, I guess your instinct is to avoid that person, which is why most quote-unquote weird people don't have friends. But what if nga they are aliens or robots or whatever? And like, wala lang nagtanong kasi parang weird sila so you don't talk to them. I don't know. Okay, this is a lighter one. The tradition of wearing a white wedding dress has saved countless women from the dilemma of what color to pick for the dress. This is so true. I recently had a color analysis, and I now know that white isn't the best color on me. I'm an autumn deep or deep autumn. I think it's called autumn deep, but deep autumn just makes a lot more sense in my head. But anyway, so I'm an autumn deep. So white isn't the best color for me. But in a way, I'm still thankful na white wedding dresses are like the norm. Not that I am anywhere near getting married because I don't even have a partner. But like, I guess it's just one less thing to think about. Parang ang dami-dami mong iisipan sa wedding. So at least meron ka ng parang one decision done. Made a comment though, but there's white and soft white and light cream and baby blush. That is true actually, because like I remember when we were painting the walls of our house, I was a child, not literally a child, but I was young, so I had no concept of like different whites, because in my head it was just okay, white is white. So if we wanted a white wall, then the white wall, oo nga no. So I guess meron pa rin. But like, at least that's just a small parang sample size that you have to pick from versus like different shades of red, different shades of orange, different shades of yellow. Kasi parang white is the more socially acceptable thing to wear on your wedding day. I wonder though, like, kapag ba, like, kasi I see a lot of people like wearing non-white dresses now. Like, if a wedding is like not traditional. But if you go to a church and you show up in like a red dress, would they just not do it? Like, papagalitan ka ba ng pare and like mag-walk out ba siya saying, you're not wearing a white dress, you have to get changed or whatever. Ganun ba? Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko sure. But then, I'm not sure rin how I feel about wedding dresses in general. Especially like super expensive white wedding dresses that are obviously a bridal gown. Because like, when else will you wear that? Because they are so expensive and you know that you'll only be wearing that once. Even if you get remarried, you're probably not gonna wear the same wedding dress. Unless you pass it down, I guess. So, but then I'm not sure how I feel about that also. Kasi parang, I don't know. Hindi ko alam. Again, hindi pa naman ako ikakasal. Hindi ko rin alam if ikakasal ba ako ever. But I think it's helpful that we have guidelines and parang norms. Like what I said, parang that's one less thing you have to think about. Okay, all we ever needed was the one 3D printer. We just needed to print more 3D printers with a 3D printer. I don't think this is necessarily true because I don't think you can power something up if they're all like plastic. Plastic and 3D printers, diba? Like, we can't 3D print naman metals or whatever. I know nothing about this, so let's see the comments. Ayan. Yeah, okay. May na-comment na, yeah, no, you need one 3D printer capable of printing all kinds of parts out of all kinds of materials, including microchips and various electronics. And then the original poster replied, it's a shower thought, not a functioning plan. Okay, well, the shower thought is wrong. Shut up. Okay, next. A good round of applause shouldn't have everyone clapping at the same beat. Well, yeah, that would be weird. If everyone clapped at the same time, I don't think it would sound as good. But on that note, have you ever thought about just how beautiful a round of applause sounds? Like, wala lang, ang ganda. And I don't even know how people discover that. Like, ewan ko how they discovered that or even accepted that na parang, okay, pag ginagawa natin to, ibig sabihin, masaya tayo and like we're in awe of what they're doing. I don't know, but it's a really pretty sound. I agree with the shower thought that we all shouldn't clap at the same beat because that would be so weird and kind of almost like a chant rather than a round of applause. But my extra thought is that ang ganda lang ng sound ng applause. I don't know. Okay, if humanity goes on for long enough, every single style of facial hair will be associated with an evil person. I guess. Oh, they're talking about like, oh, I thought they were talking about like Hitler but the comments are mostly talking about fictional characters. But I was just thinking like mga Hitler vibes na parang sobrang iconic. Iconic, hindi iconic si Hitler, but like iconic yung you just associate that mustache with him. And I don't know if it's because the facial hair is super distinct or if it's because the evil things he did were so distinct. Speaking of Hitler, labo. Meron ako napanood the movie. I think it's, it had Natasha Lyonne. It's called The Intervention. And they were having like a discussion on whether or not Hitler would go to heaven or something. Or if Hitler was a bad person or if he just had parang dysfunctional morals. Because what if Hitler actually had good intentions? Like, again, I'm just quoting the points from the movie na parang, what if Hitler really thought he was doing the world a favor by doing all of these evil things to these people? Like, would that make him a bad person? Or if he's doing something to save humanity, like in his head, like, would that actually make him a hero? I don't know the answer to that question because obviously I believe he is evil, but like, yeah, what if in his heart and in his mind, like, he wasn't really thinking of power, etc. He really just believed the world is better off without these people. He just, like, what if he really had like good intentions, but like sobrang mali lang yung morals niya? Because again, circling back to the first shower thought, like, you don't really get to choose what you believe in. You just believe in that. So, I don't know. Again, pabalik na naman kay Pontius Pilate. Like, paano kaya yung process sa heaven? Actually, do we all go to heaven? Because, di ba parang if, like, following Christian beliefs, like, Jesus died for our sins or something. So parang if we sin here, but then Jesus died for our sins, so parang cancelled out na ba yung sins? And in that case, if the sins are cancelled out, do we even still have to do good on earth? And again, what exactly is good? Like, is it just about having good intentions, or do you actually have to do good? Like, who decides that? Like, again, what if again in my head, like, I'm saving humanity almost, or parang just, I don't know, I'm just doing good. But then along the way, I do bad, like quote unquote bad things. Does that mean I'm a bad person? And paano yung process sa heaven? Like, interviewin ka ba ni Pontius Pilate na parang, hello, so you did this bad thing. Then if you say, oh, I did this because insert good intention here, will he just say, oh, okay, heaven ka na? Also, speaking of heaven and hell and Jesus, ang isang thought ko that comes up at least like once a year is, di ba pag Holy Week, we know if it's Good Friday, like our elders say, like, patay si Jesus, nobody's gonna save you. But then, it's essentially just an anniversary. So, buhay na siya now. Kasi nga nabuhay siya nung Sunday di ba? So, bakit tayo bawal umalis? I mean, gets ko naman na parang we have to not celebrate, but, parang acknowledge or parang reflect on the fact that He died for our sins and stuff, and we have to pray and just, I guess, just acknowledge the fact that it happened. But then, He's not dead now. Diba? Like, hindi naman siya namamatay every year. So, why do people say He's dead now? Like, guys, spoiler, mabubuhay ulit siya on Sunday. Like, we know this. So, yes, that's my other potentially ikakagalit ng mga lola ko na thought. Sorry. Let's stop talking about religion and Jesus Christ because this is so polarizing and I don't want to be cancelled. Okay. A gold medal Olympic athlete is better than 8.3 billion people. A bronze medal Olympic athlete is better than 8.3 billion people. That is so true. Like, well, first of all, kahit hindi to people as close as gold and bronze, just the thought of billions, like whether people or money, when I actually like try to grasp kung gaano kadami yun, nagugulat ako each time na parang the difference between, parang minabasa kong gano'n na parang the difference between 100 billion and 1 something billion is still 1 billion. Oh my God, hindi nakalimutan ko na yung nabasa ko. But like, it's just a lot. Anyway, nakalimutan. That would probably be more impactful if naalala ko yung actual thing. But yes. But on the topic of Olympics, I've seen some people say na parang if you are in the Olympics or in any competition or whatever, bronze medalists are usually happier than silver medalists because if you are a silver medalist, like, you're better than essentially the entire world, but you know that there's someone still better than you. But then if you're a bronze medalist, like, you're just happy to be there. You're just happy to be on the podium. And I feel like that's true. Ito, sabi ng isang comment, gold and bronze feel like victories. Silver feels like a consolation prize. That's so true and so sad. Also, on a semi-related note, pwede ba ako maging Olympian? Like, obviously, for some sports, like, for example, like tennis or gymnastics or whatever, like, you kind of have to start when you're young. But now that I am going on 30, pwede ba akong mag-start ng completely new sport and then just study it for like a year or like 2 years maybe, and then parang mag-join ako ng Olympics and then potentially win gold? I guess that's easier for some sports than others. Like, I think my friend mentioned, like, parang may isa na nag-try siya ng shooting to like de-stress from her divorce or whatever, and then she won gold on the next Olympics. Just in theory, can I win the Olympics? Hindi ko alam. Which reminds me of another shower thought-ish. This is not necessarily a thought that I had in the shower or in the bathroom in general, but a conversation with my workmates. This is a hypothetical question. Like, what if, like, we get the best, like, team on PBA right now, or of all time? And, okay, I know nothing about basketball, so I don't know who that is. But, okay, so we get the best PBA team versus LeBron James, or whoever is the GOAT or whatever in NBA. Because obviously, okay, on the other side of the spectrum. So the first thing I asked was like, kunwari, the best PBA team versus the worst NBA team. Like, who would win? And then my workmate said the worst NBA team would still win. But what if it's like the best PBA team versus LeBron James and like 5 people who do not know what they're doing? Who would win that game? Like, kunwari kasama ko si LeBron James. Like, ako yung isa doon. Okay, we would still train. Okay, kunwari we were given like 3 months to train, and like I would be mentored by LeBron James, and like we would take it seriously. But obviously, like, I don't have the height, I don't have the skills, I'm not fit. Pero ka-team ko si LeBron James. So, mananalo ba kami ni LeBron James versus the best PBA team? Let me know. Or, if LeBron James, you're listening to this, hit me up. Let's train for 3 months. Have a game with the best PBA team. I don't know. Next thought. April Fools doesn't hit as hard when your default reaction to everything on the internet is disbelief or skepticism. That's true. I mean, I think in general, April Fools is slowly like becoming corny. Like parang hindi na masaya actually ang April Fools. Parang hindi, not that I've ever, I mean this is true, but also just the fact that we all know that April Fools is meant to be a day for pranks or whatever. Ay parang, I mean just the mere concept of April Fools na parang it's a day where you pull pranks. Obviously, everything on that day, even if your default reaction to everything on the internet isn't disbelief or skepticism, medyo on that day you will be skeptical of everything. Because it's April Fool's, so maraming gagawa nun. So parang I don't really see the value in April Fool's because like a prank is meant to be a surprise, and if we as a society decided that parang this is a day when the whole world is gonna do pranks, then it's not really that impactful. It's like telling someone, girl, I'm gonna surprise you on Saturday, and then parang obviously on Saturday, everything that that person says, you assume is gonna be a lie, and you assume you're gonna be surprised anytime. So I think generally, even if we are not skeptical, we are all obviously going to be skeptical at least on April Fools. Ewan. But I still like April Fools jokes that are like you just doing something silly or something that you don't normally do. And then it's like not a surprise. Versus like a YouTuber releasing something on April Fools entitled like this is my last video or whatever. Like that's like, nobody's gonna believe that. Girl, I'm corny. Anyway, you've probably missed a lot of comments you would have found really funny because you didn't click on the post they were under. Yeah, this is just true, I guess. Okay, I found another one. Playing card corners are rounded because square corners would wear down faster, making it easier to tell cards apart. Interesting. Although I don't think this is a shower thought as much as it is like a random piece of trivia. But yes, okay, this makes sense. This is interesting to know if this is actually true. Okay, next one. The biggest dog in the world could eat the smallest dog in the world in one bite. This thought terrifies me because I have 5 dogs right now. They are mostly Chihuahua Yorkies. And then I have a Husky and a Shih Tzu. The Husky is the youngest amongst all of them. And since he is a puppy, his name is Storm. He loves playing with my Shih Tzu. And he obviously doesn't want to eat my Shih Tzu. But sometimes when they play, as in yung Shih Tzu kasi obviously diba maliit yung mukha niya. Or maliit yung ulo niya in general. And then the mouth of my Husky is almost as big as my Shih Tzu's head. So when they play, sometimes yung buong ulo ni Chewy, yung Shih Tzu, ay pumapasok sa bibig ni Storm nung Husky. So sometimes I genuinely worry na parang, oh my God, what if maputol niya yung ulo ni Chewy? So yes, this is a terrifying thought because first, I don't want Chewy to die. Second, I can imagine the damage that would do to Storm's brain, like if he accidentally bites off my other dog's head. I hope that doesn't happen. Oh my gosh. For audio listeners, I'm putting a picture of my dogs here. So if you want to see them, watch on YouTube. Okay, may isa. At some point, every part of your body has been through a stomach. Ugh. Like, do you mean like in your mother's stomach? Or like, anyway, okay, wag na yung technicalities. But like, meron akong naisip na isang beses na parang, basta may na-encounter akong pregnant woman. And obviously, women's bodies are amazing. Like, imagine growing a whole human inside your body. But like, that is, again, a terrifying thought. Like, imagine you are, I mean, obviously it's like beautiful and whatever and touching and it's the most magnificent thing ever. But also, like, imagine, especially pag may kausap kang pregnant woman, nung kausap ko siya, parang hindi ako makafocus masyado kasi my brain was just thinking, oh my God, there is another human inside of your body. Parang medyo nakakatakot yung thought. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird na parang, oh my God, you are a human and then there is another human inside of you. Like a whole human. I don't know. Next, okay, dogs again. The only time a dog will know how much you love him or her is if they were mistreated in the past. Otherwise, their environment will have been the same since day one and they have no way of knowing how good or bad it is. Alam mo, totoo. May isang beses nag-google ako na parang, does my dog know I love her? Because like, paano ko malalaman? Again, like if I hug them, do they know that that means I love them? Like if I feed them, alam niya ba yun? Also kasi parang I've been having this dilemma. Okay, for context, my dog Pumbaa, again for audio listeners, I'm putting a picture of Pumbaa here. She passed away last month and I had this dilemma on, because parang there was a point where the vet told us na parang we were just kind of waiting for it and parang I had a dilemma on whether or not iuwi ko ba siya sa bahay so she feels loved and she doesn't feel abandoned, or iiwan ko ba siya doon and potentially prolong her life. But then she would think that I left her there and abandoned her during her most difficult time. Because parang ma-realize nga ba na parang, oh my God, may fluids ako dito, may IV ako. And siya yung nagdala sa akin dito and binibisita niya ako sometimes. So, siya ba'y may kasalanan kung bakit medyo I feel better because of these fluids? Or does she just think oh my God, she left me. Tapos parang nakaka-guilty siya either way. Because parang pag iniwan ko siya doon, nakaka-guilty because nga, parang I don't think she has that concept of, okay, gumagastos siya for me and she is sort of sacrificing her time with me to give me the best care that I can have. Versus, nakaka-guilty naman na iuwi siya and knowing na parang, okay, I'm not a vet. I don't know, like I can't give you the best care, like the best possible care, but I am here, like physically with you, and you can feel my love or whatever. So I don't know, it's just a sad thing to think about. Anyway, she passed away na. There's no way to explain that to her. Okay, not to end on a depressing note, but I have been recording for a long time, so I will stop here. So those were the thoughts that have been going inside my head and other people's heads that are potentially disturbing, and now unfortunately you are disturbed also if you listened up to this point. I'm sorry, but that just means we are a community now. Charot. Again, if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and are interested to see some visuals or just interested in me looking at the camera for the entire episode, maybe you can consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. My YouTube is just Sachie Reyes. Subscribe, like, share, whatever. Okay, bye.